Come on, Dave. Well, here we are in the tasting room. This is the room that's open to the public. It's the first room that the public sees.
À mon avis, pareil sur le second. Mais je suis content parce que tout ce que je dis, c'est un peu ce que je vous avais dit aussi.
These are nice, very clean. I don't see a lot of difference in the color, do you?
Beautiful Bordeaux 2012.
When was this?
It was last spring.
And from here, they can see the entire operation. For instance, you can see this cave, this fabulous cave. This is where the wine is aged, and after it's been aged, it is bottled on the far side in the bottling room. And of course, the most important part is the shay, or the fermentation room, which is through here. The first thing you see when you come into the shay is that you see the laboratory, and on the other side you see the winemaker's office. And then you see these magnificent tanks that are custom made for Boxwood Winery by the Mueller Company in Missouri, and they are controlled by the state-of-the-art computer system called TankNet, which controls the heating and cooling for the fermentation. The computer system controls the hot and cold water that's in custom-made process pipe that runs underneath the catwalk that encircles this room, and that runs almost 365 days a year. Another interesting thing about the room is that we have 4 vents on one side and exit vents on the other, and that's to get rid of the carbon dioxide gas, which is formed when you make wine in the fermentation process. That way we are assured that no one gets intoxicated with the wrong material. This is our press pad. This is where our grapes are brought in from the vineyard. And they are weighed. And taken over to the sorting area. Go up this elevator to a shaking table. And into the destemmer. It's not a crusher destemmer, just a destemmer, because we want to treat these grapes like little kids as gently as possible. The grapes then go onto this belt, which is manned by about 4 people who further make sure that we have the finest grapes that go into our wine. They are then put in these bins that go to the column lift, which is a specially designed system for Boxwood Winery to simulate gravity flow way of making wine. Behind me is the press, which is used in the final stages of making wine. After the fermentation is completed, the wine is then sent by pump on these stainless steel pipes that go into the cave. It is underground and overlooks the tasting room and the bottling room. It is a very breathtaking, spectacular room, very much like Chateau Lafite in Bordeaux and Opus 1 in Napa Valley. My fervent hope is that eventually Boxwood will be as well known as those two august wineries. We're going to make a concerted effort to do so, and one of the ways we do it is with these oak barrels. These are from Bordeaux, and Bordeaux barrels are a different size to Burgundy barrels. They're brought over here by ship, and we will have about 255 when we have our full capacity of 5,000 cases. Right now, it holds our 2006 vintage, which is now undergoing a malolactic fermentation in the barrels. And as you'll notice, on the barrels, they have our logos from Boxwood for the two different kinds of Bordeaux-style wine we're going to have, the topiary, and on this side, we have the building, the tasting room building. Please also note that there is in chalk the code of what is contained in these barrels and when the barrels were last cared for with sulfur to sanitize the barrels, and that is also done in the Bordeaux style. The barrels will be replaced on a rotation basis about every 3 years. And that way, the proper oak flavor and other flavors from the oak itself are transmitted to the wine. After 3 years, it doesn't have the same potency. The wine is brought from the chai by these stainless steel pipes into holding tanks, which in turn is transferred to the bottling machine itself. The bottles are placed on the rollers over there. The bottles are sanitized. Is filled in the bottles. The corks are put on. The foil is put on. And the last stage is the label themselves. The bottles are put in cases and are ready for shipment.